time again, start a new project. Let's go get some supplies. Come on, dog. Let's go. It's got real windy a little while. I got some nice snow drifts. I'll have to show a little. Nothing's here. Making cutting boards, so we're going to find some of that in here. These are the old boards from the fence we built this summer. We're asking one, nice knots. So this will be the first project I do by fan request. Thanks, Yolanda. I'm going to build a cutting board just to show you. I'm going to use the cutoffs from the fence we built this summer. I got two of my own cutting boards built out of the same stuff that we've had for years and years, 6-7 years maybe. And I have a buddy who has one also who uses it out every day and it's still going strong. And we only use coconut oil to seal them. So I'll show you how to make the simplest cutting board you can possibly make. Here I've got a few boards. I have 5 here in the middle. I'm going to take these to the White Hat Art Walk in Edmonton this July. So what I like to do is just like to look at the board. Cutting boards be about that big. I don't really have a set size. I just kind of eyeball it. I really like the knots, so I'm going to try to get those into it. I got my shapes drawn out. This one's a chevron. I think that's what they call that anyway. Nice big knots in there. I just cut it out with my jigsaw. I like to put a hole in them so you can hang it on the wall, because these are really nice cutting boards. And I'm going to carve something in the back of them, so it's like a good opportunity to show off a piece of art. I like to mold things so it looks a little more natural. Get rid of these hard edges. Luckily I got this really cool tool here. Now that we got all those sanded down, smoothed out, they look a little rough. Probably have to burn them a little bit, dry them out a little bit more. But to sand that nice and smooth, look at that, it's a nice little cutting board. A little bit bigger one. Kind of looks like a meat cleaver already. This one's got a nice. What the hell's going on with my leg? Yeah. This one reminds me of a whale. Got all these sanded. You could probably be done with it right there if you really wanted to be. Now these pieces are all made out of pine. You can use almost any wood. I wouldn't use cedar because it's a little bit brittle. This stuff is pretty hardy. And once you condition it with coconut oil is what I use, it prevents cracking, keeps the moisture in. Now I'm going to leave a couple of these, but we are going to keep going with a couple of the other ones. Now, the first design I did didn't have a groove, and I find when I cook things juicy like pineapple, it just like fills the whole thing up. So I'm gonna try to put a nice groove in here to help drain fluids. And you can like hold this right over the sink too. It works really well to drain all the juice off your cutting board. So we're gonna try that next. So I put a tapered router bit, plunge router bit in my plunge router, and I'm just a little afraid that it's gonna kick around all over the place, but hopefully it doesn't, and This all goes smooth and quickly, painlessly. That doesn't look too bad. A little crooked maybe. Let's see. Sand that, I don't think it'll. Well, that looks smooth. It's not a very big cutting surface, so maybe that's for your camper or some. Sure does look nice though. Now we can add a little extra to this one. Nice big horn sheep on this one. Alright, there we go. Well, let me take these out so I don't sound like I'm yelling. Alright, here we go. Alright. It's very simple cutting boards out of pine slab. I just used the pine slab because that's what I had around. I don't think there's too much difference between woods. I mean, cedar would probably be the worst because they'd be so brittle, but they smoke salmon on it. It says oak, but it's actually pine. And then this one here, it's a little more complicated even. Like that's a little bit bigger. And I got a bear carved into the back of that one. I really like the shape I made. Cut like that, right? And on the back of this one, I put a bighorn sheep on it. Now I'll take these and rub coconut oil in them, seal them out so that none of your juices, if you cut meat on there, will soak into the wood. So here's one of the older cutting boards I made. This is actually the newest one. This was just on the shelf, wasn't even finished, and Amanda said, I need another cutting board. So she got one, it's not finished, the edges are all still sharp, but I mean, they've worn over time. But you can see it's cracking, but it's no worry. When you seal it with the coconut oil, it just feels the crack like that, and no leakage. Here's the first one. It's probably a couple years older than that one. And I finished it off, rounded on the edge, and look how nice it looks now. All worn in the middle, but there's really no big gouges at all. This is just regular pine. You can see the coconut oil in there. And this is the third piece I did. This one I'm not quite as happy with because it shrunk. As you can see, it used to be right up against it. And it's even a little bit on this side too. Which isn't too big of a deal because of how I built it. I was going to end up adding a piece over here. Some issues I wish I would have probably took more time in using a, help me out with that word.
Planer?
Clamp.
Oh, clamp.
Clamping these together a little tighter because this piece obviously is the only bad one, but it's opened up a little bit. And I mean, it's probably because the wood wasn't left long enough. But I got no time for that. Alright, now I'm going to show you with one of the new cutting boards how I just put coconut oil on it. No big deal. Of course, you do the whole thing, front and back. Make sure you get in the groove too. You don't want anything that gets left in there for a little too long to soak into the wood, at least easily.